Hi, I'm Beth from Sew Country, and today I'm sewing up a free pattern that's going to help me get a little more organized in my sewing room. I realized I needed some more storage space, but I didn't want to buy anything new and I didn't want anything to take up more floor space, so I decided to sew up some baskets. I found this free pattern on sewcanshe.com. I'll leave the link in my description. And I thought this was the perfect pattern for me because it has a really flat back, so it'll lay flush against the wall, but it has plenty of room for storage. It even has inside pockets, so I can put more things in there. These are going to be perfect hanging on the wall along my sewing room, close to the sewing machine. So if I want to put some notions in here, or even just some of the scraps after I'm cutting and sewing, I can have a place to keep everything tidy so I can keep my room looking neat and organized. And since it was a free pattern, I was even more excited to sew this up. These come together really quick. I'm going to make a bunch of these. I think I'm going to even make a bunch to sell at my next craft show. The only thing I think I would do differently is I might consider making my loop a little differently. I might consider making it a little skinnier and a little bit longer. I'm using a water-resistant canvas from Mormino inside all of these. All of my exterior fabrics are from J&R Edwards. I can put a link for them in my description. If the J&R fabrics aren't on the current pre-order, you can easily ask in their Facebook group for them to add the files to their next one. And they're really good about adding any previously ran files to the next pre-order. I do this often whenever I want to restock on a certain print. First thing we're going to do is look at the pattern piece. You have 4 pieces that you cut out and you tape them together like this, and this is actually the section that you place on the fold. There's no instructions as to how to place these together, but just connect all the pieces. I did think that I could print the pattern at a higher or lower percentage if I wanted to make different size pods. So for mine, this is going to be my exterior. This is the way it looks once it's cut out. My fabric is a cotton woven, but I did interface with a foam. The pattern said you could do a fleece. I really wanted this to be really structured and sturdy, so I'm glad I used foam. If I use fleece, I would even quilt it so it has just a little bit more structure. I didn't want it to be kind of flopping around. I wanted it to stay nice and open so when I'm storing things in, it wouldn't close or bend or fold. So I cut 1 piece for the exterior, 1 piece for the lining, same size shape. I cut 1 hanging loop. You don't have a pattern piece for this, it's just a measure and cut. And I did cut 1 piece to make the pocket. The pattern says you can use a pocket on the inside or outside. Mine will be going on the inside. I did run out of this fabric, so I did have to piece it together. Yours would just be 1 piece. The only thing I'm doing differently is I'm doing this as a drop-in just because my preference of sewing as a drop-in, but you could easily sew these right sides together and birth out of the hole in the bottom as the pattern tells you to. For me though, I am going to do a drop-in just like I did on these 2. I do think you could add a nice cork tag on the front. You could also add a woven label on the back. This is some good places to add labels, as well as add a woven label or cork tag inside if you want to kind of fancy it up or personalize it. I also thought these would be great gifts if you wanted to make one of these and put some lotions or shampoos in there. It would just be a cute gift to give to someone. The first thing we do to get started is we are going to take this lining pocket piece. We are going to fold it right sides together and just sew all along this long straight edge. Then after we get that sewn, we'll turn it through the open edge on the side. So I'm going to use the seam allowance given the pattern. Make note of the seam allowance. It is a quite large seam allowance. I'm going to back stitch when I start and stop and go all the way down this edge. This is a cotton woven with no interfacing on this pocket lining piece. Turning it through the loop will just take a few minutes. It's not hard since there's no interfacing, but you'll just push it through and then pull it out on the other side. If you want, you can take it over to the iron to press it flat. I'm just going to finger press and then top stitch. Because I'm being a little lazy and I don't want to go over the iron and press my seam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the seam that I just sewed in the middle on the back side, so it won't even be seen. It'll just make it a little bit easier since I'm not going over to the ironing board and pressing it flat. Having it in the middle allows me the option of top stitching and having a smooth edge at the top and a smooth edge at the bottom. I'm just going to put a couple clips here to hold in place while I top stitch along the top edge only. Once you have the top stitching done, now it's time to take this pocket and attach it to either the exterior or the lining, whichever you prefer to do. I'm going to do mine on the lining. I'm going to scoot everything else out of the way. The pattern tells me how far up from the bottom of the lining that we're going to place this slip pocket. It's going to go from edge to edge. You're going to check your measurements right here at these cutouts to make sure you have it evenly spaced from the bottom edge. So you don't want it to get it too close down or too far up. I honestly feel like it's a little too far up here. I might just shimmy it down just a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal. Once you have it properly placed, now you're going to sew along the sides and then all the way across the bottom, and that will attach it to the lining piece. Once you have the pocket sewn, make sure the opening's there towards the top. What we want to do is we want to divide this up. If you look in this one, you can see that there's no gaping in the pockets. Everything fits really snugly. We want to go ahead and separate the pockets on this one just like we did this one so that it lays really nice inside. We're going to make a measurement here in the middle and we're going to sew down that line, and then the pattern gives us a measurement to go over on this side and sew. Same thing on this side. So I'm going to use those pattern measurements. I'm going to sew 3 lines starting at the bottom and going up towards the top. Here is how the lining looks. It's ready to be sewn together. So we're going to sew the lining and the exterior the same way. We're going to fold it right sides together and we're going to match up this long straight edge. Add a few clips so that it stays together while I'm sewing. I'm going to do the same thing with the exterior. Clip it together on those long straight edges, and we're going to sew both of them with the same seam allowance. So now that I have this side seam sewn, you can trim it up if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this seam right here to the center on the other side. So I'm just going to push them together. It should allow these pieces to fit together evenly along the bottom. So let's go ahead and add some clips there. If it doesn't fit perfectly, that's okay. That just means, you know, you might have sewed with a little bit of an off seam allowance, or you might have cut it a little bit off. No big deal. So you can see it's already taking shape. I'm going to sew it from this side because I want to butterfly that seam open to kind of help it lay a little bit better. I'm sewing again with that same seam allowance from one edge up to the other here along the bottom, making sure I backstitch, keeping this seam butterflied. Now at this point, we're going to box these corners. I'm going to add just a clip here in the corner so I know where that corner or center seam is. Use my fingers to open it up, and then I'm going to press this seam, butterflying it along the bottom to exactly where my clip is, and then adding some clips there so I can get a straight sew to box the corner. So now I'm just going to smash this bottom flat and sew with the same seam allowance across this edge to box the corner. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with this other side so we can have the exterior completed. Adding the clip, opening it up, matching everything up nice and neat there so you can see it's going straight across. Smashing it down and sewing across that edge to box this last corner. If you want to trim any of your seams, now you can. I'm going to trim a little bit here at the top. I'm not really too worried about it. So here is how my exterior looks. Super cute. For me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold down this edge all along the exterior. I'm just clipping it into place. If you want to sew yours right sides together, you will not do this step. Instead, you will just leave an opening in the lining. Whenever you're sewing across the bottom, you'll leave an opening there and do yours a little bit differently. The pattern explains how to do that, and probably you kind of understand the concept of sewing things right sides together along the top and then turning it out and closing up the opening. I'm just clipping all along the top. I'm not even measuring because it doesn't matter so much. I feel like it's going to be fine no matter what. I'm going to leave the clips on for a little while, and then after I finish the lining, I'll just drop it in and add those clips to it, and it's just easier for me and I enjoy it more. It's a personal preference. So now that I have that clipped down, let's go ahead and pull out our hanging loop and let's just top stitch along both sides. What I did was I did a 4-way fold on this, so mine's 1 inch across. I think if I'm doing the other ones, I might make it a little bit skinnier and a little bit longer. I feel like that loop would just look a little bit better and just make more sense personally. I have the loop top stitch. I'm going to go off camera and finish sewing up my lining and fold down the top edges just like I did on this one, and then I'll drop it in. I'll come back and show you how I sew all around, add the loop in there, and then it's done. I finished sewing the lining and I tucked it inside the exterior so everything looks good. I have it clipped down so that it matches perfectly. You can see how the lining fits really well when you do it this way. And I went ahead and clipped in the loop here, centered it on that back seam. I'm going to start top stitching right here so I can catch this loop quickly before it shifts, and then just continue top stitching all the way around the top, and then I'll be done. I've been working towards getting my sewing room more organized, and these little pod baskets are going to be perfect to help me keep things neat and tidy without having a lot of extra space to store things flat on. I can hang these up. They look beautiful and I can put things in there. I'm going to keep them beside my sewing machine for organization there, but these would also be cute if you don't have a way to store webbing or zippers. You can put things in there that way as well. So whatever you need pods for, storage for, baskets for, even outside of the sewing room, I think they're great. So I'm going to have the link for the free pattern in my description, as well as the link for the fabric. It is all from J&R Edwards, and the waterproof canvas or water resistant canvas is from Mormino. Thank you so much for watching another free tutorial of mine, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're able to sew up something that helps you make sewing in your sewing room just a little bit more fun, more organized. And if you have any questions or comments about this pattern or any suggestions for other patterns, just let me know, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks so much for watching.